What is up, everyone? What is up? Wake Up Justin is live every Monday through Friday. Monday, 8 to 10. Tuesday, 7 to 9. And then Wednesday through Friday, 8 through 10. I'm live. But we're probably moving to Rumble, though, because I think it's the new play and where to go. I don't get why the mail person's outside my house at 8 a.m. in the morning just sitting there. It's weird. Didn't even do anything. What was that about? What was that even about? I don't know what that was about. That was so weird. So strange. But yeah, we're moving to Rumble for sure though. We're going back to Rumble. I uploaded a video yesterday to do a test. The video on my YouTube channel has what, one play, right? And I uploaded the same video to Rumble at the same time, basically, right after. And yeah, the video on Rumble already has 150 views on it. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, like I said, I'm just pretty sure YouTube just shadow banned my stuff to oblivion from what I was talking about and what I was watching on stream and stuff like that. You know, I'm pretty sure they just shadow banned my stuff. So we were going back to Rumble. I'm not sure if I start. I'm not sure if I start tomorrow or if I just wait till next week because it's already Thursday. I only got a day left in the week, So we don't have too long to go. As you can see, we got a nice little winter backdrop, like I said we would do. What are we doing today on stream? I'm not quite sure yet, actually, to be honest with you. I don't know what we're gonna be doing today on stream. It's a good question. I don't know. I want to do a new segment where we take or I take topics going around online from like interviews to whatever it may be and give the power back to the people in a way and just go through comments on YouTube to see what people are saying. The problem with that is though, a lot of those comments and stuff are going to probably be bots and not even real people. I feel like that has become a really heavy presence this day. It's just all the bots online commenting and then or running accounts or whatever it may be. So I think it's also a big problem online is like all the bot accounts that are happening nowadays. I think a lot of stuff you see is a lot of bots doing it, man. I really do. You can even be on your own stuff too, where you don't even think, like, you don't realize that you're just engaging with bots. It's not even real people you're talking to, or it's not even real people, disagreeing or agreeing with what you're saying. It's literally a bot, and then it's kind of almost changing your thought patterns and the way you look and the way you think. Because, like I said before, um, after creating content for a while and seeing how it works and stuff like that, it's like if I wanted to, I could just switch around and start slop content and I would get views and I would be fine, but that's not what I want to do. So, but I would see why, they would have bots commenting and doing things and stuff like that. So it kind of dictates the kind of content that is being created by people online. Because everyone has a voice, they should use it. You shouldn't use should not use your voice. Everyone's got one. I'm sure everyone out there has an opinion, Some opinions are better than others, obviously. I also believe, you know, I also believe in absolute too. I believe in full-on free speech, and that people are adult enough to realize what's going on and what people are saying and things like that. So at the day, the truth, you know, the truth will always win. The truth will always prevail. So um, when it comes to like free speech and people talking online or debating online or whatever it may be, it's just like let the public voice, let the people make the decision of, you know, um, let it let it be held in public court, basically, a type of thing. You know, let ideas and what people think and how people talk, let that be held in public court and let the public's opinion dictate what it is. So that's how I kind of see that whole thing when it comes to free speech and um, social media and just sites censoring or doing whatever. Um, I do want to get a little more back into the political side of things a little bit while still staying on the spiritual side of things also because it is important, you know. I can't find where to read the $900 billion defense bill that got passed. I don't know how. I don't know. I can't read. I don't know where to read it. The Annual National Defense Authorization Act. Get out of here. I'm trying to find this act. It's a 3,000-page bill. Supreme bill calls for a 3.8% pay raise for many military members, as well as housing facility improvements on military bases. Cutting climate and diversity efforts in line with Trump's agenda. The most ambitious swing at acquisition reform that we've taken. Oh, it hasn't even. Hmm. Where do I find it? None of that helps. Where do I find the? Uh. Yeah, but how do I? I don't know how I find this thing though. That's the thing. I don't get it. It doesn't show me. You know. So United Defense Policy Bill prioritizes investments in hypersonic and AI weapons. The bill includes funding for missiles that can fly above Mach 5, a laser system capable of burning drones, and an AI system that can run entire battle networks with minimal human input. It also allocates funds for space sensor. Yeah, I mean, I believe that the military is run by AI. just because, well, the GPS and stuff like that. If you know everyone else is, if you have everything on GPS and you know where everyone else is stationed at and their ships and stuff like that, you'd be better off running it through algorithms to figure out the best positioning for your military to win the battle. Because you can just compute tons and tons of stuff, Yo, where do I find it? It's not giving me where I can read this whole bill at. That's the thing. You can't read the bill. He says you can't read it. To prevent the creation of a central bank digital currency, which could reshape electronic payments around the Federal Reserve. Huh. Dude, this guy, this per what? We must demand better and fight it on the next must pass bill to ensure a CBDC never sees a live day. Financial freedom isn't negotiable, he wrote. I'm interested. What's the age? Here. I want to see what the age group is. Individuals aged 31 to 40 make the largest share of the United population in 2024 at nearly 47 people in all age groups under 50. Men slightly outnumbered women, but this trend reverse and increasingly widens as people age. Someone here? Optional cookies. Get out here. So, yeah, the 24-year-olds, 30 to 34 have it beat. And then you got 45 to 50. Interesting. Man, I'm just wasting time. Sorry, I don't know what I'm doing. No, I'm just waiting. I don't know. We might just watch videos for the next hour and a half. Really, to be honest with you, I really just don't know what's to really talk about here. Yesterday's spiel that I went on. You know, how we need to move forward from we need to move on from our past, and we need to move forward from it, and we gotta stop harking on the past and our past actions and stuff like that. And we gotta start thinking about the present and the future of the United States and what we're gonna do. I mean, what I don't like about some of these people that are predominantly like um it's just old talking points, man. It's just old talking points, and you're dragging um the futurism and then you're dragging, you know, like you're dragging people with new ideas and new thoughts and how to move forward in this world through old coals of history. You know, it's not doing anything good. Who cares? Type stuff, you know. Futurism is a Christian eschatological view that interprets portions of the Book of Revelation and other apocalyptic sections of the Bible as future end times events. By comparison, other Christians eschatology, I can't even say that word again. Eschatological view interprets the passages as we'll just go to the thing, because can I put it on dark mode? This stuff is just so bright. Thank you. Oh, it's so bright. It just hurts my eyes to read it. It's so bright, you know? Just that, it's just crazy. What is this? How do I look at this better? Whoa. Not that. Whoa. That right now. $3,000. $5,000. China. Something. What am I looking at? I don't know what this even is. Garden of Eden. Tree of Knowledge. Millennial. Yeah, I have no idea what that. I've never seen this photo in my life. Let's ask the co-pilot. Let's see if he knows what it is. Shall we? He might be able to tell me what it is.
Hi there, Justin.
Yo, hey, what's this photo on my screen? Hey. Yo.
Hey, Justin. That looks like a really elaborate old map you're checking out. I'm seeing some landmarks. What caught your eye about it?
Where's it from? Huh. And then it just goes away. The whole thing just went away. What was that about? What just happened? Why did it go away? What? Sometimes, man, I tell you, sometimes it doesn't like that I have this stuff going on. It's really weird. Henry Dunant apocalyptic diagram. Who is Henry Dunant? Oh. A Swiss. A French. May 8th, 1828, in the Cape. Swiss humanitarian businessman, social activist, and co-founder of the Red Cross, huh? His humanitarian efforts won him the first Nobel... Oh, he won the first Nobel Peace Prize in 1901, really? Dunant was born in Geneva to develop Calvinist family and had business interests in French Algeria and Tanzania. In 1859, while on his way to petition for Napoleon III, he witnessed the aftermath of the Battle of Solferino in northern Italy. Horrified by the suffering of the wounded, the lack of care that he received, Dunant Interesting. But okay, well, let's continue here. Nope, can we go back to the there we go. End times historical context such as Petrism and historicism as the present day events of non-literal and spiritual context as an idealism. Futurist beliefs usually have a close association with Hurting a little 1,000 years Masonic age of peace. The term future Book of Revelations contains the chapters 422 relate to future times. The alternative to futurism are prophetic fulfillment as already having happened in the past. Belief. Seventieth week of Daniel. About the Great Tribulation. What is this? The judgment of the church. On. Why don't we know how to begin to dissect this map? I I don't even know. Seven. I don't even know how to dissect that map. I don't even know. That's crazy. That seems like a lot. I don't even know. Let's see what this is. It's a cool picture. I like that picture. God bless thee, my son. I will give thee the greatest jewel I have. The end of our foundation is the knowledge of causes and secret motions of things, and the enlarging of the bounds of human empire to the effecting of all things possible. Sir Francis Bacon, The New Atlantis. To be Christian is to live by the Alpha and Omega, the God who establishes and sustains the cosmos and brings its story to fruition. The God who plants the garden in Genesis is the God who inaugurates the new heaven and the new earth in Revelation. The God of creation is the God of Ashtan. What is today called futurism was first espoused by 19th and early 20th theologians as an outworking of Christian eschatology. Futurism could be described as an active, technological, and optimistic vision of humanity's role in the cosmos. Christians futurists do not seek to accommodate Christianity, the modern expression of secular futurism, which we view as the best and well-intentioned but shallow imitation of Christian eschatology. Instead, we seek to subordinate futurism to Christianity and the future to Christ and His church. We foresee and work towards the future in which the Great Commission is fully realized and all humanity is collected into the body of Christ, the church. This future will entail the perfect unity of God and man that is prefigured in Christ and prophesied in its fulfillment in Revelation 21-22. The eschaton will be realized when God's condescension to humanity coverage with humanity's ascension unified as one body toward oriented potential. Mankind's becoming a domain mandate to encompasses the whole of the cosmos. Technology rightly ordered towards the flourishing of the imago Dei refracts the glory of God and does not obscure it. What? The image of, okay. The image of God. Where am I? Where did I go? Where did it go? I lost it. Oh, yeah. Technology rightly ordered towards the image of God reflects the glory, not obscures it. Yep. Our human life towards Christ requires our technological duty to subdue and orient matter in the cosmos towards the flourishing of life. This calling can only be fulfilled through and is necessary outworking of the kingdom established by Christ through this church. All Christians must reject the modern innovations of pietistic and quietistic eschatology, which de-emphasize the role and agency of the institutional church is in the plan of salvation and recreation. Futurism is originally inherently Christian. Optimistic futurism cannot sustain itself if unmoored from its Christian origins. The ongoing unfolding along broadly futurist and theistic lines is a prediction and confirmation of the ultimate truth of Christianity. Mankind has been given a domain mandate that encompasses the whole of the cosmos. God's been given human beings a domain mandate that they by the Promise wrote of his awe of God who created all the stars in the cosmos should be mankind a little lower than the angels. You have given him domain over the works of your hands. Our duty to conquer evil is cosmic, not merely global in scale. The cosmos is a setting of the story of God. Is the setting of the story that God is creating with us, not just humanity on earth, but all creation itself will be set free from its bondage to corruption and obtain the freedom of the glory of the children of God. God will not merely create a new planet Earth, but a new heaven and a new earth and a new redeemed totality of all things. Revelations 21 to 22 describes the setting of a vast epic, celestial in scope, and points to new revelation, a new story, and a new adventure on a far greater scale than we can now imagine. God promises us more than eternal life. Behold, I am making all things new. Christianity very symbolizes point to an active and universal mechanism. In G.K. Charleston's word, the cross, it has at its heart a collision and contradiction, can extend its forearms forever without altering its shape. Yeah, I guess he's not wrong. Techno-skeptical Christians urge that no part of the Bible is specifically focused on describing extraterrestrial space or commanding us to explore it. We respond that no part of the Bible specifically discusses the New World, yet the cosmos, no less than the Americas, falls within the universal scope of the biblical story and the kingdom mandate. If it is wrong to colonize Mars, then it is wrong to travel beyond the Pillars of Hercules. So they're saying, is it wrong to explore the cosmos? But some are saying it's wrong to explore the cosmos. That's one, that mankind has been given a domain mandate to encompass the whole of the cosmos. So, God created all, so it's, why not explore all of it, right? Technology rightly ordered, this is two. Technology rightly ordered towards the flourishing of the Imago Dei refracts the glory, does not obscure it. Christian futurists affirm that humans are created in the image of God, while the natural evil afflicting humans is the enemy of all mankind. Humanity as such is something to aspire to and not to transcend. Unlike secular transhumanist, the futurist theologian Teilhard de Chardin did not exalt humanity's potential to recreate ourselves into whatever form we might choose. This distinction can be found in the Teilhard's exalted view of biological sex. Teilhard does not view the complementary of the sexes as an accident, which humans as an accident which humans are rearranged. Instead, he sees sex as a reality ordained by God, intended to reflect metaphysical nature. We are national, pro-human, and human-centric while we support the responsible creation of non-human intelligences. We reject post-humanism's devaluation of corporeality in humanity, physical embodiment, and Homo sapiens, not simply intelligence in the abstract or unconscious entropy or objects axes of value. Artificial general intelligence and robotics have, depending on how we respond to their development, the potential to promote or devastate human flourishing. I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Therefore, choose life that you and your offspring may live. And I agree with that. Like we should not. There's definitely be laws in place that like people can't. Like I said in my videos, people can't have kids with robots, or robots can't create kids. Like we have to make sure we separate the two, and that we don't give over like our God-given right to robots and AI and stuff like that, because that will be the end of us. Once we give our God-given right to AI and robots, we're done. That would be the ultimate mockery to God, you know. Um, I've said, life and blessing curses that offspring may live. A new economic order technology that eliminates most cognitive employment could conceivably usher in a caste system based on substance-oriented de facto serfdom. This could plausibly occur even if the highly competent poor cannot generate meaningful economic value, causing wealth to flow singularly from a person's hereditary ownership of compute. Our duty to serve humanity requires that we wield a rod of iron against injustice. Christians must fight relentlessly to ensure that any future AGI-based socio-economic order is oriented towards human flourishing. The imprisonment of the human race in a substance-oriented socio-economic order must be prevented by any means necessary. Likewise, Christians must work and fight relentlessly to ensure that AGI serves the ends of human flourishing and the ultimate conquest of the cosmos. We affirm that long Christian rationally about the possibility of non-human minds represented in biblical analogy in the works of thinkers like Augustine and C.S. Lewis. We unapologetically affirm the reality of spiritual warfare and the demonic while repudiating the recent tendency of some Christians to assert that any non-human mind we may encounter in the future will ispo facto. I don't know what that even means. Ispo facto. Do 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 do. What is ispo facto? By the way, fact or act. And okay. The biblical flood and entertained the possibility of monstrous races and of antipodes, people who live on the southern hemisphere of the earth. While Augustine was skeptical of both monstrous races, he did not assert, as some modern Christians might, that all sentient beings that exist are cataloged in the Bible. Likewise, Augustine nowhere suggested that monstrous races, if they exist, would be God in his words never promise or even suggest that the only minds that exist or will exist in his universe are human minds. The assertion that sentient AGI cannot be possible because it is not mentioned in the Bible, therefore, ironically, has no Bible. Just as that does not mean we minimize the reality of the demonic, it also does not mean that we minimize the danger posed by AGI. Our duty to direct all human life towards Christ requires our technological duty to subdue and orient matter in the cosmos towards flourishing of life. Christians have been the forefront of biomedical progress, from Hildegard von Bingen to Louis Pasteur. Christian inventors are driven by the conviction that what you did for one of the least of these, you did for me. This statement, as Simon Weil observed, can be called the foundation of all Christian ethics. When a researcher cures a disease, he obeys the commandments and furthers the divinely sanctioned conquest of the universe. Our duty to conquer the universe is itself a eschatological outworking of our duty to protect the least of the from natural evil. Whether the evil is Alzheimer's disease, the future immolation of the earth by the sun, or the heat death of the universe, Christ taught that sickness exists in the world as an enemy to be conquered. Victory over natural evil is won by Christ himself, but by Christ through his body, his people. It was not that this man, born blind, sinned, or his parents, but that the works of God might be displayed in him. We must work the works of him who sent me. Wrote that God has offered us the world unfinished so that we may draw sustenance from the intense satisfaction of, in some small way, giving you to yourself. Christ himself also stated that his followers would do greater works than him. This statement may not be explicable in terms of individual pity, but it is perfectly sensible as a description of the future activity of the body of Christ in the world. Christ germinated a kingdom that will work the works of the future upon matter and the cosmos. Heresies often come in pairs of opposite. The heresy of monotheism began as an overreaction to the same heresy was essentially the inverse of dogmas. One of the earliest days, some Christians reacted to religious challenges of transhumanism by lapsing it into a form of death worship, exalting sickness, degenerative aging, and a death of intrinsic goods which give life meaning. For the Christians, medicine will eventually reach some arbitrary point at which scientists must stop combating ill health and other forms of natural suffering. These Christians are unlikely to specify when exact because they have not yet settled the question themselves. Death worshippers are perhaps a kind of conservative, but what they are conserving is something like 19th century romanticism, not biblical Christianity. In the Bible, sickness and death are never described as positive in any inherent sense. Death is the last enemy to be destroyed, destined to be cast into the lake of fire with the devil. In Proverbs 8, wisdom personified as a woman concludes her monologue with the condemnation: all who hate me love death. This calling can only be fulfilled through and within, and is the necessary outworking of the kingdom established by Christ through his church. As all Christians must reject the modern innovations of pietistic and quietistic eschatology, which de-emphasize the role and agency of the institutional church in the plan of salvation and recreation. God's people do not merely look on meekly and pray as God acts. Instead, they give themselves by fighting to combat suffering and evil, to pursue the cosmos, and to cooperate with the draw closer into union with God. In Daniel 2, a stone representing God's kingdom is shown to grow, to fill the world, and to break in pieces all the kingdoms and bring them all to an end. The cliche that Christians must not immanentize the Futurism is originally and inherently Christian. Optimistic futurism cannot sustain itself if unmoored from its Christian origins. Has written many secular futurist works within the conceptual. I don't even know who this person even is. I never heard of this person in my life. Let's see. Oh no. Oh no, we're good. Let's see. Let's see who he was.
He is known for being a French Jesuit priest, scientist, paleontologist, theologian, philosopher, and teacher. He is recognized for taking part in the discovery of peaking man and conceiving the vitalist idea of the omega point. His name is Pierre Teilhard de Chardin. In the early 20th century, amidst a time of great scientific and philosophical exploration, a remarkable figure emerged. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, a French Jesuit priest, captured the attention of both the religious and scientific communities with his extraordinary insights. Born in 1881, Teilhard was a man of many talents, a scientist, paleontologist, theologian, philosopher, and teacher. Teilhard's journey took him to the heart of China, where he played a significant role in the discovery of Peking man. This groundbreaking discovery shed light on the origins of humanity and fueled Teilhard's fascination with evolution. Influenced by Darwinian principles, he developed a unique outlook that synthesized science and spirituality. One of Teilhard's most profound ideas was the concept of the omega point. He conceived of a vitalist notion that suggested the universe was evolving towards a final point of unity and consciousness. This idea captured the imagination of many, as it offered a glimpse into the grand interconnectedness of life. Teilhard's vision extended beyond the physical world, as he collaborated with Vladimir Vernadsky to develop the concept of the noosphere, a realm of collective human thought and consciousness. While Teilhard's ideas were met with both praise and criticism, his impact consciousness with Vladimir Vernadsky to develop the concept of the noosphere, a realm of collective.
Where's my note? There it is. Vladimir Valensky. Vladimir Valensky. Vladimir Valensky. Vladimir Valensky. Vladimir Valensky.
His impact on philosophy and theology cannot be denied. His works faced condemnation from the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith, yet his ideas found support from eminent Catholic figures such as Pope Benedict XVI and Pope Francis. Scientists, too, were divided in their response to Teilhard's writings. Teilhard's journey was not limited to the realm of ideas. He also served as a stretcher-bearer in World War I, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to humanity. For his bravery and service, he received numerous accolades, including the Médaille Militaire and the Legion of Honor. Today, Teilhard de Chardin's legacy continues to inspire and provoke thought. His unique perspective bridged the gap between science and spirituality, challenging traditional boundaries and encouraging a broader understanding of the universe. Through his contributions, Teilhard left an indelible mark on philosophy, theology, and the exploration of the human experience.
Interesting. Early years of life.
Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, a renowned philosopher and Jesuit priest, was born in the Château of Sarcenet in France. Growing up in a family that valued nature and knowledge, Teilhard inherited a deep appreciation for the natural world from his father, a librarian and naturalist. His spirituality, on the other hand, was nurtured by his mother, who instilled in him a sense of wonder and awe for the divine. At the age of 12, Teilhard began his education at the Jesuit College of Munger, where he excelled in philosophy and mathematics. In 1899, he entered the Jesuit novitiate in Aix-en-Provence, taking his first vows in 1901. He continued his studies, earning a licentiate in literature at the University of Caen. However, political changes in France led to the Jesuits going into exile, and Teilhard found himself continuing his studies on the island of Jersey. During his time in Jersey, Teilhard delved into the works of philosopher Henri Bergson, whose ideas on evolution and the interconnectedness of matter deeply influenced him. Teilhard saw the brilliance of Bergson's book, Creative Evolution, as a fuel that ignited his own burning passion for knowledge and understanding. It was during this period that Teilhard synthesized his scientific, philosophical, and theological knowledge, shaping his unique perspective on life and existence. In 1911, at the age of 30, Teilhard was ordained as a priest, marking the beginning of his journey to reconcile science and spirituality. His teachings emphasized the interconnectedness of all things and the evolutionary nature of the universe. Teilhard believed that life was not static but constantly evolving, and that humanity had a role to play in the ongoing development of the world. Teilhard's philosophy, rooted in his deep understanding of evolution and his unwavering faith, offers us a profound perspective on life. His teachings remind us that we are part of a greater whole, intimately connected to the world around us. His words resonate with the idea that life is a shared experience, where our actions and choices have an impact on the collective. In a famous quote, Teilhard once said, "My life will recur in exactly identical fashion." This statement reflects his belief in the eternal cycle of life and the interconnectedness of all beings. It reminds us that our choices and actions have consequences, not just for ourselves but for the world as a whole.
I mean, come on.
Teilhard de Chardin's philosophy invites us to embrace our interconnectedness and take responsibility for our role in shaping.
Is that really that crazy an idea?
Teilhard de Chardin was a French philosopher, paleontologist, and Jesuit priest who was best known for his work in the field of evolutionary theory and theology. His philosophy is centered around
He wrote that. That's his quote, huh?
For us to discover the key to our survival, it now becomes imperative that we identify, harness, and develop those energies of the noosphere which are of an intercentric nature. That is, center to center, or soul to soul, not just mind to mind. This brings us to the problem of love, which Teilhard defines as cosmic energy. Love, the affinity of being with being, is not peculiar to man. It is a universal property of all life and thus embraces all forms of organized matter. If there were no internal tendency to unite, even at a rudimentary level, before we can say that the way ahead of us is open. First, that there is for us in the future, under some form or another, not only the possibility and hope of a survival on Earth, but also of a superior form of existence. Secondly, to imagine, discover, and reach this superlife, we have only to walk in the direction in which the lines passed by evolution take on their maximum coherence. In other words, where consciousness is at its greatest.
Okay.
To bring us into existence, the world has, from the beginning, juggled miraculously with too many improbabilities for there to be any risk whatever in committing ourselves further and following it right to the end. If the world undertook the task in the first place, it is because it can finish it, following the same methods and with the same infallibility with which it began. Man must come to realize that he carries the world's fortune within himself, and that a limitless future stretches before him in which he cannot founder. In the last analysis, the best guarantee that a thing should happen is that it appears to us as vitally necessary. Quoting Teilhard de Chardin, only in support of hope there are rational invitations to an act of faith. Is the essence which Omega, to be truly Omega, has it been written that he who loses his soul shall save it. It is only your energies of consciousness to concentrate an act of faith. Have you ever wondered what would have become of humanity if it had been free to spread indefinitely on a limitless surface? Perhaps nothing at all when we think of the extreme importance of the forces of compression that are brought about by the spherical shape of the Earth. The geometrical limitation of a planet closed like a giant molecule upon itself.
Damn.
This limited surface of the Earth causes a pressure buildup as population densities increase. Under this pressure, the human elements infiltrate more and more into each other.
Interesting.
Their minds mutually stimulated by proximity. So each person extends, little by little, the radius of his influence upon the Earth.
Interesting.
Mankind, forced to develop in a confined area, has now found itself subjected to an intense pressure. This pressure, combined with the nature of our thinking souls to coalesce, causes the radio energies of consciousness to concentrate toward a sort of super consciousness.
That's interesting.
The final unification of our planet is the natural culmination of a cosmic process of organization which has never deviated since those remote ages when our Earth was young. Mankind has cosmic roots. But how do we specifically define mankind? What are its deeper meanings? Rational man has existed on this earth some 2 million years. And yet in the course of only a few generations,
2 million years,
all kinds of economic and cultural links have been forged around us. And now they are multiplying at a rapidly increasing rate.
Right.
Today it is the whole world which is needed to nourish each one of us. The earth is not only becoming covered by innumerable grains of thought, but it is becoming encased in a single thinking envelope, which forms a single huge grain of thought. All of the individual particles of reflective thought grouping themselves together and reinforcing each other.
Yeah, it's like, you know, like everyone's perspective makes up reality. Like everyone's seen the sky and whatever, all the viewpoints make up reality itself, you know.
In a single, unanimous reflection.
Yeah.
Mankind.
It's like your perception and how you perceive things, and that's like what I always say. It's like how they kind of control society and stuff like that. It's kind of like they can't like alter it, but they can change the perception of what people see. If you can change the perception of enough people, then you change how people view reality. You can't change it. You can't physically change reality, but you can change the people's perception of reality itself.
A sort of collective human organism that is now forming a layer of thinking substance of planetary dimensions. A noosphere that develops and intertwines its fibers to reinforce all men in the living unity of one single tissue. The noosphere comprises a single closed system in which each thinking element experiences for itself the same thing as all others. Megasynthesis, the sum total of all human beings.
Megasynthesis.
And so we see that no restricted group of men can evolve and grow except in cooperation with all other men. What more do we need to be convinced of the error hidden in the depths of any doctrine of isolation? The outcome of the world, the gates to the future, the entry into the superhuman, these are not thrown open to a privileged few, nor one chosen people to the exclusion of all others. Rather, they will be opened to an advance of all together, in a direction in which all together can unite and find completion in a spiritual renewal of the earth. Man can hope for no evolutionary future except in association with all other men. What is the result of human works if not to create in and through each of us a supremely original center in which the universe itself, and these centers are our very selves and personalities, resonance to the all, an expectation and awareness of a great presence. Are we not experiencing the preliminary symptoms of a still higher state? A deep harmony between two realities that seek each other? Let us sum up the situation thus far. 20th century man has evolved from the stuff of the universe, as we have seen, but has not yet completed his evolutionary process.
Interesting.
He is, therefore, moving forward to some critical new point ahead.
Hyper-reflection?
Teilhard calls this the hyperpersonal. Yet how can a superconsciousness be associated with the collective all? The utter disproportion of the two seems to us, at first sight, almost laughable. How can the person and the all possibly be one and the same? But let us take a second look. We have seen and admitted that space-time is divergent as seen from the present standpoint of science. That is to say, when looked at only from the without. However, when we take the within into account, we see that the enormous layers of evolution must converge somewhere ahead to what Teilhard calls omega, or more correctly, a point omega. And this omega point fuses and consumes all these layers completely in it. What lies beyond the omega point is then essentially beyond time and space altogether. Omega is a distinct center, a superconsciousness, radiating to and through a system of centers. It is a grouping in which the personalization of the all and the personalizations of the human elements simultaneously and without merging attain their maximum potential under the influence of a supremely autonomous focus of union. Thus it is that space and time become
I'm about ready to get out here, I think. I don't know.
Or more correctly, superhumanized. The more other they become in the process of uniting, the more they discover themselves as self. Since they are steeped in omega, these centers of consciousness can become whole only by super-centralizing themselves. The very seat of our consciousness. And that is the essence which omega, to be truly omega, must reclaim.
There it is, the Holy
Yet to
Grail.
communicate itself, ego must exist by continually abandoning itself, or the gift will fade away. But where has it been written that he who loses his soul shall save it? It is only through this apparent sacrifice that we can achieve the high peak of personality we had thought we must renounce. The convergence of a conscious universe would be inconceivable if it did not reassemble in itself all individual centers of human consciousness, as well as all the consciousness throughout all nature. And at the end of the process, each individual human consciousness still remains conscious. Furthermore, and it is crucial that we understand this point, each consciousness becomes even more itself, and thus more clearly distinct from others, the nearer it gets to all the others, at the omega point. For us to discover the key to our survival, it now becomes imperative that we identify, harness, and develop those energies of the noosphere which are of an
Having deja
intercentric
vu
nature.
right now, for some reason.
That is, center to center, or soul to soul, not just mind to mind. This brings us to the problem of love,
we watched this already, that's why.
which Teilhard defines as cosmic energy. Love, the affinity of being with being, is not peculiar to man. It is a universal property of all life and thus embraces all forms of organized matter. If there were no internal tendency to unite, even at a rudimentary level, as, for example, the attraction of atom to atom, molecule to molecule.
I think I'm going to head out, I think.
Cell.
I think I'm going to start doing stuff. I think I'm going to head out.
Love could not appear at a higher level within us.
Our Heavenly Father, who orders all things by your providence and ordained mankind to have domain over all the earth, we humbly beseech your mercy and grace upon those who serve to advance technology for the common good. Grant them the wisdom to be faithful servants of your eternal law, so that the technology may lead to human flourishing and greater intimacy with your Son, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, what is this? Pulpit AI? Every church should be using Pulpit AI. Try it now. What does it do? 2 free uploads, upload text docs, upload audio or video, unlimited AI video clips, enable caption. What does this do? What's the what does it do though? Oh.
Technology is changing us. Our world is changing. And disciple believe.
Okay. Let's try it for free, I guess. Oh, I do all this. Let's not do that then right now. What else do we got here? Justin AI. Okay. How's it okay, well, let's not do that. Welcome to Seraph 2.0. What is this? Teach me something about God. Where's my notepad at? I don't feel like. Bro, this AI is going let's see what's about that. Man diagnosed with incurable disease tied to increasingly popular kitchen trend. What? Whoa. Hold on, what is this guy doing? North Carolina lawmaker accuses school officials of violating parental rights. Bill in fiery hearing.
There it is. The whole.
Yeah, even they agree we gotta move on from the past. We gotta move on from our past, man. I'm telling you, it's really strangling our growth and our society and everything. When you have people, just going on and on about our past and what do you think of this and blah blah blah. 1.6 million dollar scam backfires when AI gets an instant man. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, this.
Holy Grail. A perfectly impossible crime.
Can we watch this video?
He says holy heck. Only he didn't use the word heck. Or holy.
Can I see that? Really?
That's nice.
Well, how do I watch the video? Well, how do I watch the video?
Law, essentially.
Santa's.
The other part was just about governing conversations of sexual orientation and sexual discussions in the classroom for kids in kindergarten through 4th grade. Those are the two things they saw sort of as discriminatory.
It sounds like they've since gone into compliance with those things.
Right. So in the video, he said as much as what you just said back in January 2024. Then in February 2024, the board chairman sent an email that said sort of the same thing. We're going to adopt all but these two things. After that, he says, and the school system said, we are going to comply. We're going to direct our staff to come up with a set of guidelines for how to deal with these.
It doesn't have. Okay, well, I can't find it, so. I can't find it. All right, but I think we're getting out of here, though. I think this will be a short stream. I think tomorrow we'll just start streaming on, or I'll start going back to Rumble tomorrow. It's time. But it's time. I'm getting out of here, man. I'm sorry for the stream today. It wasn't the best stream I ever had. Yesterday's stream was a lot better. This is kind of just I don't know really what to talk about. I'm just kind of in limbo right now. So yeah, tomorrow will be Rumble. Tomorrow will be Rumble, and then we'll get on with the streams and stuff like that and everything. So, as always, may peace be with you. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. I'm Justin. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow on Rumble. Peace.